Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Tantra, the fastest way to enlightenment, question mark, with subtitles from Tsem. So, at least in terms of Advaita Vedanta, I believe Bhakti Yoga is the fastest way. Because it's a duality that is kind of already practiced throughout the entirety of the world. Um, and it's one of, it's, it's one of giving up but not really. And what I mean by that is that if anything ever goes wrong, you give up the problem to God. Let God handle it. And so essentially that, but do the best that you can, so you don't give too much problems to God. But no, it's essentially, obviously, you don't half bake it, you don't half ass it, as they say. You want to give it 110%. You want to do the best that you can, and then if there's ever any problem, then you let God handle it. So that means that when you're doing your job, you give it 100%. You don't skimp out on rules. You don't skip out on anything. You don't do it like, oh, I'm too tired, I'll do that later, or anything. No, you give it 110%, as they say. And then if there's a problem, let God handle it. So I'm not sure about Tantra though. I think I did one video on it, but I don't know if Tantra is a bit different in terms of his particular way of life. I believe it's a Buddhism, but I don't know which one. There's a few of them, but let's go ahead and get this video started.
Some people have this idea that they don't have to ground themselves, learn up, and make themselves very stable in the preliminary practices and preliminary teachings. That they feel that Tantra is the fastest path, so therefore it bypasses everything else. And once they go into Tantra, they receive the magic initiation from the Lama on the throne, and they get the sacred secret mantra, and they just go into their rooms and they recite, then everything will transform, everything will change, everything will be overnight success. Well, it doesn't really happen that way, and that's not the way Tantra was actually presented. Unfortunately, some people throughout the world have advertised Tantra the wrong way in the first place. The wrong way is to advertise that it is the fastest path, the quickest path, and that if you just rely on Tantra alone, you can achieve everything and nothing else is much needed, that it's just bypasses. So as a result, you get a lot of people running for initiations, running for these secret practices, running for the sacred, running for everything that is tantric in nature. Well, there are people out there who are qualified to get Tantra, and they practice and they do get results, some quickly, but most of us, including myself, are not. So therefore, what I like to elucidate is here, using Vajrayogini's Tantra as an example, but it definitely applies to Kalachakra and Yamantaka, Guhya Samaja, Chittamanitara, Hiruka, Gawagatso Chenezik. It applies to all of those. And what happens is, during the tantric initiation, in short, I can't explain too much for those of you who don't have initiation, as I would be breaking my commitments. But in short, during tantric initiation, you have the preparatory initiation, which is one day, the first day. Then you have the actual initiation the next day. And during the preparatory initiation, you're supposed to examine to see if any inauspicious signs or dreams or anything happened that should give you a warning that you shouldn't get this initiation, as you are not ready. From the side of the Tantra or initiation, there is no fault. From the side of the receiver, sometimes you are not ready. So therefore, the next day, the second day, is the actual initiation. When you receive the initiation, you have to take certain vows, you have to take certain commitments, you have to take certain promises. And those promises and vows and commitments that you take during initiation are extremely important. They are more important for you to gain attainments, for you to get the result from the initiation. The initiation itself is to plant the seeds into your mind stream. But the actual work happens after the initiation. The actual process of gaining attainments happen after the initiation. There are cases where during initiation some people get attainments, but those are far and very distant in between. Those you should not rely and hope on, because we have to look at our qualities. Do we have bodhicitta? Do we have some realization, understanding of shunyata that is manifested in our daily activities, not just the intellectual understanding? So therefore, simply to hope that we will get some attainments from the initiation itself is the hope of a beggar, the hope of a very poor person wishing to buy a huge big building, but they have no money. So like that, what's important is that whatever we have promised during initiation is much more important after initiation. And after, whether you meet your Lama or not, whether you are getting special care from your Lama or not, whether your Lama is unfortunately passed away or you're still living or not, it doesn't matter. Because during initiation, you have taken oaths and commitments and samayas and promises from your Lama as a deity. So during the initiation of Vajrayogini, you don't visualize your Lama as a human being or a monk or the teacher or whatever. You visualize it as taking it directly from Vajrayogini. So whether your Lama is hanging around you or is alive or has passed away makes no difference, because actually during initiation, the correct mode of receiving initiation is the thing that you have received at Vajrayogini. Or in the case of Yamataka, Yamataka. So therefore, Yamataka is deathless. Vajrayogini is deathless. Therefore, if your Lama is around or not, if they are alive or not, it doesn't make any difference. It should not impact your practice whatsoever.
Okay, I will say, I wish you'd explain what Tantra was. I was hoping that that's what this was about. It says Tantra, the fastest way to enlightenment, and then explain, or at least a very basic of what Tantra is. I'd say it's kind of weird that it says that you worship your Lama as a deity. I mean, I don't know. That to me is just very weird, but that's coming from an atheistic mind point. Obviously, I don't believe in any deities. So, because it fails my test, I guess you could say, if there's such a thing. Like, and you can make the arguments like, well, there are things that exist that you don't see, but they're real. But but you don't see them, that that doesn't mean they don't exist. Which for sure. So that being said, if there is a God out there, I have not witnessed it, so therefore it does not exist, at least not yet. It seems improbable versus something that seems very plausible. So saying something exists in the universe that's nothing magical or special, it's more probable to believe than, say, a deity which is all powerful, which is very difficult to believe. But anyways, I guess I'm wondering if that's more of a state of mind to, like, if you believe your Lama to be a deity, I guess it could help some people. Again, it goes back to a bhakti yoga style belief where you have this duality of worship. For me, that is definitely not the way I look at bhakti yoga. I don't know. My way of looking at it's probably the incorrect way. But then again, in Hinduism, there are many different ways to get to the goal, many different paths. So I don't know if necessarily my way is the wrong way, but it could be just a different way. And my way of looking at bhakti yoga is the same thing as in a worship of, I suppose. I don't like worship, but like as a holding something to a standard, taking care of something. I think that's better. Taking care of something, caring for something. I think that's it. It's kind of like love, actually. They say bhakti is also love. So love, actually, I do like that much better. Why didn't I think about that first? But anyways, like love, where you have love for humanity. I have love for people. Not the same kind of love, but love in general. Everyone has a base level love, and from there it goes up and down based on how you treat people. So I have this, love level. My significant other, family, friends, strangers, and then people who have wronged me in life, which isn't really that many. I think I can count it in less than 5 fingers. 1. That was a long time ago too, when I was a kid. Anyways, so I I didn't quite understand this video. I was hoping you could explain a little bit more, but then again, I don't follow Buddhism too much, even though it was originally what I wanted to follow because of my world religion class back in college, when the thing that kind of struck me that really kind of changed my way of thinking was when I believe she was a Hindu teacher. She had a dot in the forehead. I don't know if that means Hinduism. I know that's something related to India. Probably a marriage, I'm not sure. Or some even say the third eye. But again, I don't know. So I'm just leaving that out there for anyone who wants to answer that one. But yeah, she explained world religion, and she did wear her traditional, I guess, a traditional Indian garb, which was really cool. I liked it. But anyways, getting back to my my story into that was she said in terms of Buddhism that life is suffering, and that really changed my perspective in life because I tried to destroy that saying by anything that's happy, and then even me trying to destroy that just reinforces it because I would then make the counter argument to my argument, well, this makes you happy, but it comes at a cost. This makes you happy, but you have to suffer for it. So basically, getting money is nice, but you have to work long hours at a job. Now, if you like the job, that's pretty good, and you make money, it's not too bad. But you have to, in a sense, suffer to get happiness. So I was like, man, I try to attack the argument, and by my own counter argument, I destroy it. I'm like, I am not winning this one. I just still kept thinking about it. Like, is there, like I said, childbirth? All this pain and suffering in that one. So I was like, well, not really. Unless they drug the woman up where they feel nothing, but then again, they still kind of suffer an after effects of childbirth, even without the drugs being involved. They can't really walk. So still, they suffer. It's like, well, dang, I can't win this one. I can't think of anything where we can have happiness without suffering being involved. So I was like, life is suffering. Absolutely. Oh, anyways, yeah, that saying has changed my way of thinking in life and has made me, I'd say, not get so upset about a lot of things. And I've gotten better and better over the years, even though I have not really, looked into it even more than, say, now, especially when I started reacting to this video, should I say. When I started reacting to this videos, I started learning more, and I started realizing, it started reinforcing that belief that kind of just got into me about life is suffering. In Hinduism and Buddhism, it's the same, and, there's different ways of escape, and a lot of realization has happened by watching these videos. Anyways, that's my reaction to Tantra, even though I didn't quite understand this one, just because I don't believe he explained Tantra very well in this one, or even explained it at all. I think there was under the assumption that you understood what Tantra was, and then, I guess maybe seeing whether it was the fastest way into enlightenment, or whether, yeah. So if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down, down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.